What's up, guys? You know who it is. Marcus J. Jackson with another go live, another video. All right, I got the YouTube going tonight as well. You can also check out my YouTube channel at Marcus J. Jackson. It's a bunch of fun videos on there for you to listen to, look at, learn something from. It's a little bit of everything on there, everything from working out, business, fitness, and all that good stuff. Let me move this over just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so tonight we are going to be talking about stress. All right. First and foremost, if you are having thoughts of suicide, you are feeling suicidal at this particular moment in time, okay, I want you to pick up the phone, okay, and call 800-273-TALK, 800-273-8255. All right, that is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Lifeline is what I like to call it. Please reach out to them. They are, you have contact to the, the psychologist and psychiatrist or whoever you listen to when you call. But anyway, I started this little Live Life series because one of my buddies I was real close to in the Army decided to transition himself. He was struggling with, him living an alternative lifestyle and how he could be a Christian at the same time. So that really stressed him out. It stressed him out to the point to where he decided to take his own life. I don't know. It's just one of those places that is, it's a very, very delicate situation. And I feel like not a lot of people are talking about mental health in general, let alone suicide. Shout out to all my veterans. And keep on keeping on, guys. I know what it's like. I've been there. I served my time in the Army, and I understand. If nobody understands, I understand. Okay, I totally get it. I overstand. I try not to stand under anything, but I overstand. So you are more than welcome to reach out to me. All right, especially between the hours of 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. in the morning. My contact number is 469-626-7486. All right. Again, that's 469-626-7486. If you are listening to this video and you are contemplating on suicide at this very moment and you cannot hold out for the remainder of this video, please call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, okay? You can look at, and if you feel like you're the only person feeling this way and nobody else feels the way you feel, I would invite you to go down my timeline or go to my page and look at the videos. Look at the videos and look at all the views that people have, all the people who have looked at this video. All right. So obviously there's somebody feeling the same way you feel at some point in time. Okay. So with that being said, this is a very, very informal platform. If you want to ask questions, if you want to chime in with any kind of resource or advice, or you want to share a story at some point, you're more than welcome to. If you want to call me on the phone during Oh, you know what? Oh well. Yeah. Anyway. Um. So with that being said, I am going to kick off our night. All right. With a couple of deep breaths, just to bring us our spirit back to our body, just to ground ourselves. All right. So I want you to take a few deep breaths. One more time. This time I want you to connect your feet to the center of the earth so you can stay nice and grounded. Stretch your feet out to the core of the earth and wrap your feet around it. All right. All right. So, stress is the number one cause, I feel like, of dis-ease in the body in general, because stress turns into worry, or worry turns into stress, vice versa, and your body produces a chemical, and that chemical produces a lot of cortisol, right? And that cortisol causes inflammation, and the inflammation comes due to the mucus buildup. So if you notice that whenever somebody's stressed out all the time, they're usually always sick, or they're just getting over a cold, or they are, in and out of the hospital because they're stressing in some kind of way. Either they're stressing their body out through, the foods that they eat, stressing their body out by not getting enough sleep, stressing their body out by not getting enough exercise, stressing the body out by, trying to cope, self-medicating with promiscuity, drinking, smoking, things of that nature. And a lot of times, we've never even heard of positive ways to deal with stress. I know for a long time myself, I was like, hey, stress is stress. I'll get over it. I'll keep going through it. I'll keep pushing. Stress doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? That's the mindset I had for a while. And at that time, I was working like 18 to 20 hours a day. And it was crazy. And I was just trying to, and that was just barely getting by. I couldn't, it was hard to even save money. So it was that being in financial stress is also causes dis-ease in the body as well. So I was really at a point to where had I not stopped working when I did, I would have, had to go into the hospital for dehydration. I did go to the hospital at one point for dehydration and probably exhaustion. I don't know if they, even bothered to tell me that, but I know for a fact that I was dehydrated. Because when you work 22 hours, 20 hours. Well, some nights it was 22 hours. Your body will get to the point where it's going to force itself to shut down, right? And your organs are going to go in survival mode because they haven't eaten properly, they haven't rested properly, and they haven't drunk, you haven't hydrated enough to maintain its function naturally. So in order to preserve your life, your body's going to shut down in order to repair itself. So that is a stress that you don't necessarily want to happen. Okay. You don't want to just keep going and keep going and keep going to the point to where it's so stressful that either you are force yourself force yourself into the hospital, or you get to the point where everything is starting to the stress is taking over the mind, the stress is taking over the body, and it is you feel like there is no other way to get around it. There's no way out. There's no way you can come back from it or overcome what you're going through. And I am here to tell you that is not true. That could be far from the truth. Okay, I don't want you to feel like because of something you're going through it makes it the ideal situation to transition yourself early, or transition yourself. Okay. Everybody deals with stress. Everybody. Anybody who tells you they live a stress-free life is lying to you. Okay. They may look like they got it all together. It may appear that they have conquered all. All right. But trust me, I'm a life coach, right? I'm a life coach, health and wellness coach. I'm a youth coach, and I have coached people from at the greatest version of themselves and at the lowest version of themselves. So I can tell you that everyone does not matter. It does not matter how high you on the horse you think they are, or how low on the totem pole you think they are. They are experiencing stress, if not the same exact stressors that goes on in just about everybody's life. So with that being said, I am going to get me some water. Gotta stay hydrated. So anyway, please feel free to reach out to me anytime of the day. If I need to talk to you to keep you from transitioning yourself, if you need me to listen to you, I will talk to you. I will listen to you. My contact number is 469-626-7486. All right. I have made myself available. Like I said, I am a certified coach, and I've worked with acute suicide situations in my careers. Like I said, I was in the military, law enforcement, and different types of different levels of security. And on all three of those platforms, I've had to deal with acute suicides, with people who were right there and, either, gun to the head or knife to the arm, or, or trying to talk them down from taking pills, or, it's crazy. There's a lot of scenarios that, especially when you work in the prison system, that you find a lot of different scenarios, a lot of creative scenarios, and men and women, attempting to transition themselves, because, stressed out, stressed out. But I will talk to you until I fall asleep, is what I like to tell everybody. I don't mind. If it's during the day, I am a realtor also. So I'm probably on the phone with someone. If you call me during the day and I do not answer, please leave me a message, shoot me a text and say, hey, I need to talk. ASAP, and I will return your call as soon as I can, as soon as I possibly can. I will return your call, okay? And if you want to email me, you can email me at marcusjjackson@hotmail.com. You can do that and reach out to me. You can always inbox me. You can always chat with me here on the live. I don't mind that. If you can't listen right now, you can always catch this on the on my live, tomorrow. Who's to say you have to transition yourself, right now? You can always wait till tomorrow. You can always wait until tomorrow. You can always wait, till next week. You can wait 2 weeks from now. Let's go through my videos and you'll see, especially on my YouTube channel, you'll see something, there's something on there I know that is going to either motivate you, make you smile, make you laugh, and make you aware. It's going to raise your consciousness. It's going to raise your vibration at some point, because there's a lot of good stuff on there. So subscribe, right? Go to my YouTube channel, Marcus J. Jackson, and subscribe. And you'll get a notification every time I put up a new video. So, and feel free, to listen to my videos. And next month is Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. And I will be going into what some may call my ministry, right? Because I have a doctorate. I would show y'all my doctorate in divinity, but it's if I show y'all, it's going to show the rest of my junky desk, and I don't want you to see my junky desk. So anyway, all right, I don't see anybody. Oh well. All right, cool. Let's see what else. What else? Okay, so back to stress. First and foremost, I want you to think about the things that are not scratch that. I want you to think about the amount of things you do, the amount of work you do, the amount of time that you spend doing something for everyone else, right? Think about everything that you do that is catering to someone else, and think about where all your creative time is going. So I've been wondering. Oh, hold on one second. Reach out. Okay, Kenny Rains is reaching out. All right, I've been wondering who you was. Hey, I'm me. I'm me, Mr. Kenny Rains. And I just want you to think, envision all those times, and it maybe even write this down. I would invite you to write this down, okay, in your journal. Right? Write this down in your journal. Everything that you do for someone else, right? Everything you do for children, everything you do for husband, boyfriend, stepchildren, mom, dad, write down everything that you do for neighbors, everything you do for volunteer and here and there, right? And I want you to actually think about the amount of sleep you get, okay? And not only sleep, the amount of rest that you take throughout the day. I want you to journal that, right? I want you to write that down, and I want you to journal that. So that way you can, you'll have documentation, and you can visually see with your eyes how little time you are giving your body, right? Giving your mind an opportunity to rest. Okay. Because it is easy to say, oh, this doesn't bother me. Oh, I do this every day. Oh, I always, I always do this. Or it's easy to say, well, this is just who I am. I'm a giver. I give, no matter what, right? No matter if I'm tired, if I'm sleepy, I sacrifice myself. I sacrifice my time, to help my people out, or to help, for the betterment of society, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not that any of that is wrong, but there has to be a balance. Okay. There has to be a balance in which you conduct your day-to-day activities, regardless if you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart, or, you just stumbled upon a project that you want to take advantage of. It requires you to balance that, and you taking care of yourself, right? Getting the proper rest and taking a break is very important. Okay. It's very, very important. You can't sacrifice yourself unto death, and everybody else is doing well, and everybody else is, living life to the fullest, off of your sacrifice, and you're not reaping any benefit from it. You're not reaping, and when I say benefit from it, I mean rest. You're not, you don't have any stress relief in any of that. Okay. That's what I mean. All right. So, after you journal that, after you look at that, after you get that on some documentation, and I want you to, once you've analyzed that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find time for us to take a 5-minute meditation, or a 5-minute break at that point. Okay. It is okay. And especially, for single mothers, one of my, a close friend of mine, she's a single mother, and she, for the longest, used to feel like she had to be the only one that did anything for her children, right? One of those situations where you're a single mom, you are either divorced, or the father is absent in the life or in the home, right? And you being a single mom, you're the only one that you feel like you're the only one that can do anything for your children. That's cook food, clean up after them. You're washing clothes for them. You're washing dishes after they eat. And not like that's how you're cooking for them. You're fixing their lunch for school. You're literally doing everything for them. And as a single mom, and you have a job, that's stressful. And that is, and I brought that to her attention because, for the longest, she would complain about being, tired and exhausted, and, she couldn't really, get out and do anything because, she had small children, at the time they were young. So I understand, you don't want to put, your little children with just anybody. I totally get that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at some point, you have to build a relationship with someone to the point to where you can trust them to, watch your children for a day. Or pay to have them go to one of those little daycares during the day, maybe a drop-in daycare one night or one day when you have an off day. You don't have to spend every single waking moment with your children, if you're a single parent. And not because you feel guilty. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. And I don't mean that how it sounds per se, but you don't, that's not something that you should be stressed about because you never get a break. And you, trust me, you can stress the body out and you can stress the mind out if you never give it any rest. So even if you're sleeping at home, it's like a half sleep because, you fall asleep for maybe 10 minutes, then you pop right back up because one of the children are yelling or screaming, or you hear a thump thump and you wake up and like, who fell? What was that? What was that noise? And you never really get any quality rest. So I would invite you to Google one of these places that offers drop-in daycare. All right. Hey, I'm putting y'all up on some free game. Okay. I'm putting y'all on some free game. Find a place that has drop-in daycare. All right. And drop your children off there. All right. If you're on the fence about trusting a place like that, I totally get it. But if you feel that bad about it, sit out in the parking lot inside your car. Okay? If you're afraid that something's going to happen to them or whatever, drop them off. Let them go and play with the other children there. I've used those services before. I cannot think of the name of the place, but I've dropped my children off there, and we use it so we can have date night. We can go hang out sometimes, and it is. I would encourage you to use that as well. Okay, because you deserve a break. It's okay, and so and when you're taking that break. Meditate, take a nap. Sometimes you could just go when you drop your children off at one of these places. Plan on going home and going to sleep maybe one night that you're off, or one day that you're off. Drop the children off at one of the drop-in daycares and go home and sleep the entire day. Okay. Let your body rest. Let your mind reset. All right. Because there's no way you're going to evolve. There's no way you're going to tap into a higher consciousness. And when you haven't rested, your body is never at rest. Your mind is never at rest. Okay. And when you feel overwhelmed like that, it's common, and you feel like there's no break, there's nowhere to turn, and you're stressed out to the point suicide, it becomes the alternative. Suicide becomes I can't get any help. I can't find anyone to be with my children. Families failed me. Husbands failed me. Wives failed me. I can't get a break. No one will help me. Nobody understands. And suicide seems like it's the best alternative. So that's what you go for. Attempting to transition yourself becomes the answer. Well, I'm glad you tuned into this video, because I'm telling you that you have to rest. Not only you have to rest, it is okay for you to rest. Resting is an awesome stress reliever. Sleeping is an awesome stress reliever. Okay? There's no need for you to, like they say, grind all day and all night, grinding, getting money, getting the bag, and you can't even rest. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it. And here's another thing about stress that people tend to leave out when you are, especially entrepreneurs. The ones that, make it seem like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'm getting money until, whenever, and I'll just sleep when I'm dead and all this good stuff. Well, what you're doing is you're allowing, you're telling people it's okay to be suboptimal. It's okay to be, not such a strong version of yourself. just the version of yourself that's operating off 4 hours of sleep or 2 or 3 hours of sleep. And I get it. Some of us are just super awesome, and we can operate off of 1 hour of sleep a day. You know, those of us that work, you know, get off at, 6, 7 o'clock at night, and, you know, you cook breakfast and do whatever you got to do. And, you know, you fall asleep at 10, 11 o'clock and you're right back up at 2:30 getting your grind on. I understand that. But at some point, okay, at some point, it doesn't matter if you're doing that. You're either going to go to bed early to make that happen at some point, because your body is going to give out. Okay, it is going to get out. It's going to seek its rest at some point. All right. So before that happens, and like I said earlier, you're forced to go into the hospital, get some rest. All right. Naps and sleep are excellent stress relievers. All right. What else? Let me see. Check my chat real quick. All right. Shout out to Ronnie. Ronnie Poet, how's everything? Hope everything's going well with the job. Okay. So yeah, if you're having suicidal thoughts, and you're stressed out and overwhelmed, depression is taking over, anxiety is taking over, please call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. The number is 800-273-8255. Again, that's 800-273-8255. Call them and talk to them. All right? Call them and talk to them. Especially if you need assistance, immediate assistance right now, right this minute. All right? Please reach out to them. It's a free service. That's what they do. Okay. So I am available as well, to just either talk or just be a listening ear. I've made myself available at this time, 12:30. You know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's that synchronicity, man. I like that. If you want to talk to me, I will talk to you. If you want me to listen to you talk, I will listen to you talk. I will provide non-judgmental feedback or no feedback at all. Okay. I don't want you feeling like, you didn't have anybody to talk to, and don't let that be the reason. All right. Call. All right. Feel free to call. Feel free to jump on the chat and talk during the live. Feel free to inbox me. Feel free to email me at marcusjjackson@hotmail.com. Again, that's marcusjjackson@hotmail.com. I'm finna put it in the jjackson@hotmail.com. Reach out to talk, because I will listen. All right. Here we go. Oops. Okay. All right. I just put my email address in the comments. So, jackson@hotmail.com. Yeah. Reach out to me. I'll listen to you. Another thing that you can do to help with the stress, right? With everyday stress or stressors. Hold on 1 second. Let me fix this. There we go. All right. Another thing you can do to deal with stress, right? And recognizing, right? Let's talk about how to recognize if you're stressed out, right? One of the main things that happens when you're stressed out, is headaches. Headaches are a automatic sign of your body stressing. Either the blood vessels in your head are either dilated too much or they are constricted, a great deal. So headaches that's how you can recognize that you're stressed. That's how you can recognize that you need to sleep, because either your blood pressure is too low or your blood pressure is too high. You're worried about something. You're feeling anxious about something. And because your body is it's almost like, I read an article somewhere, I think it was in Psychology Today. It's a magazine called Psychology Today. And in there, it talked about how someone who's stressed out is just like someone carrying heavy weights around. It feels like an equal. And they did a brain scan for somebody who had just lifted like some heavy weight, or they did a real strenuous workout and went through the brain waves of the part, and it showed one part of the brain which was excited because of the workout, and but it eventually got to the point where it was too much, and the brain made some different colors, right? And it was just kind of like, wow, something's up. You could visibly tell that the brain itself, because of the change in color, was getting tired. And then on the other side, the same thing was happening to a person who was stressed out, not doing any strenuous exercise, not lifting any heavy weights or anything like that. And the brain had the same chemical reaction going on at the end, but it matched the brain at the end of the workout when the muscles were totally atrophied, completely fatigued, you were totally worn out, and the heart was racing and everything on the workout side of the brain. And it looked exactly like the stressed out side of the brain. And, that person was just going about everyday life. So the studies are out there. Like, if you want to do the research, by all means, don't believe anything that I tell you. Always go and do your research. All right. Always go do your research. And find out these things. So that way it's not just me telling you, you get to see it for yourself, right? How bad, your body can be stressed out, and, you can do something about that. But talking will help relieve stress, because sometimes you have to get that weight or whatever that is, that's weighing you down. Whatever's happening or happened in your life and it's weighing you down, you need to talk to somebody that you trust. Okay, talk to somebody you trust. And a lot of people hire psychiatrists or psychologists or some kind of therapist or social worker. They hire them to talk, so they can have a listening ear and give advice or prescribe medication and things of that nature. And that helps. A lot of that helps, and it has proven beneficial. People who talk a lot are usually, not stressed out as much. Unless you're one of those persons, one of those people that don't like to talk. So yeah, you definitely want to find somebody that you trust. Find somebody that you can talk to. Don't, and now don't get me wrong. Now, if somebody gossips and, it's somebody that's going to put your business out there all the time, and you know they got a pattern of doing that. You know, they can't keep their mouth closed about nothing. They can't hold water. It's just not in them. You know, they don't mean anything against you. They don't mean any harm. They just can't, like, they have to gossip. You know, you probably don't want to share, you probably don't want to share information with them. Oh, okay. You probably don't want to do that. So that's why I always recommend, you talk to someone that you trust. Okay. That's very, very important, because once you actually get that stuff off of your chest, get that stress off of your body, and you go ahead and say what it is that you're dealing with, maybe that person can say something to help you make the decision to stay on this side, make the decision to transition at a natural state, as opposed to you transitioning yourself. And I would advise you to talk to someone that can give you a completely non-judgmental feedback. That's what you want. Somebody that is not necessarily going to tell you what you want to hear, because sometimes that's not what we need. We need somebody to tell us that, hey, you need to get your ass in gear. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to do work. You need to start working on yourself. You need to build your confidence up. You need to build you need to develop yourself more, right? You need to go out there and take chances and do things, and sometimes, it's not something that we want to hear, but it's necessary in order for, the switch to flip, to just kind of give us that jolt, or give us that wake up to say, you know what? Yeah, it is. I do have a purpose. I am here for a reason, and me finding out my purpose is my key to life. Is your key to life? Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind when you're making, when you feel suicidal, you feel that suicide is your only answer, it's your only alternative. I want you to think about that. Think about finding someone to talk to. Think about, the resources that are available that are absolutely free. Go to Google, go to Lord Google is what I like to call it. And Google, suicide prevention events, or suicide prevention therapy. And you can find places that will help you. You can find places that'll, give you that listening ear. They'll talk to you, all right, and help you through that. Now, when you get this information, when you download this information, you need to upload that information with something positive, right? Because you've released a lot of negative energy, and you want to put back that void with something positive, right? So once you talk and you get everything out, and you talk about what you don't want and what you're afraid of, and your fears and all these things that are weighing you down, and you just don't want any part of it anymore. Now I want you to focus on what you do want. All right. And from this day forward, always talk about what you want, not what you don't want. Okay. Putting y'all up on some free game. All right. Focus on what you want. Everybody knows, well, I don't want this, or I don't want no man that's going to treat me like this, and I don't want no woman that's going to treat me like that. And I don't want this, and I don't want this kind of job. I don't want that kind of job. And, I don't want anything, right? Focus on what you do want, right? Change that thought pattern, change your thought process, and focus on what it is that you actually want. What do you know what you want? Right? That's something right there. Do you actually know what it is that you want? If I said, write down exactly what you want, No matter what it is, would you be able to write it down? Have you ever thought about what it is you actually want out of life? What it is that, what does it actually take for you to become the greatest version of yourself? What does it look like? What does you being the strongest version of yourself look like? What does that look like? Right? Have you taken the time to think about that? Right? So before you make that decision to transition yourself, that is my challenge to you. Right? That's my challenge to you. What does it look like if you had your way here on this side? What does that look like? What is exactly, what's the exact formula, or what would you have to have in order for you to be the greatest version of yourself? Right? The strongest possible version you could pull out of you. What does that look like? Right? What does that look like? And now once you find out what that looks like, how do you make that happen? How can you become the strongest version of yourself? Right? But if you never take the time to think about that, and you never take the time to understand what that actually is, then I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Because ultimately you came down here for a reason. You incarnated in a body for a reason. All right. I mean, that's to be completely 100 with you, that's what you did. You came down here in the body for a reason. You wanted to experience life in this body, right? So you chose your parents, you told them what your name was going to be. And, you beat all the rest of the sperm to the egg. You ignited the light and the electricity, and you begin to grow. And, so, you chose to be here. So why not? Why not learn whatever you have to learn in order for you to make it, to evolve to the next level? Right? Why not do that? Why not build on something that you've made it this far, right? You've made it this far. So why not? Why not go through with it? Why not continue to find and seek that strongest version of yourself, right? Why not do that? There's no reason for you not to, right? So from this point, right, if you're watching this video, from this point, there's nowhere else to go but up. You know what I'm saying? If you've reached this point to you've come this far, 48 minutes in, obviously you feel like it's something you're here for a reason. It's something that you need to find. There's some questions that you need answered, right? That's just what it is. That's a purpose. You have a purpose. If you don't know what that purpose is right now, that's fine. But you came here on purpose. You did that. Okay? So you may as well stick out what you started. You started this journey, to experience life in the body. So go with it. Let's go with it. And stress. Another major thing that really did the trick for me was working out. Like, working out is so therapeutic for me. Lifting weights. When I work out, I lift weights. I think I got to sneeze. When I work out, I lift weights. And lifting heavy shit is like my thing. You know what I'm saying? I like doing that. I like getting the pump, the blood flowing into the muscle and, getting all tight and pumped up and stuff. I like that. I get a kick out of that. So I do some really basic exercises. I do bench, squats, and I do deadlifts, right? And all those build, especially for you men, it builds testosterone. It gives you a boost of testosterone. And excuse me, that it gives you a great rush of dopamine because you're using all of the big muscles in the body. You know, you're using the legs, you're using the back, you're using the chest. You know, you're also have your core muscles engaged as well. So you're getting the dopamine, that feel good chemical going in the brain, you know, and it's traveling. You know, you got your adrenaline going so you can get the big lift, or you can hit a PR. But I would invite you to to take up weightlifting, you know, and I know that it works because, I mean, you could look at my, when you look at my YouTube page, Marcus J. Jackson, you'll see I'm doing a lot of working out, a lot of walking. I'm outside in nature, and I'm doing some lifting in the gym, and that's what, you know, I had the gym this week, and I'm hitting the gym probably in the morning. Well, probably in the evening. Got to switch my schedule up, but yeah, that's what I do. That's one of the main things that I do to deal with stress, to de-stress at night or some point, because I remember when I used to get off at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I would still be like wound up, you know, and once I fell asleep, it was literally like I had to get right back up because I never made that transition from work to, you know, being at home. You know, I never took that downtime. So I just went straight from work, straight to home, you know, so I would be up, I might cook something to eat, take a shower, then I'll end up cleaning up the house, vacuuming, and, you know, all kind of extra stuff, getting my stuff ready for the next day and so on and so forth, and just up for no reason, just up, looking around because I never let my body de-stress. So I started working out after I got off. You know, I hit 24-hour fitness, workout, get my workout in. And by the time I got home, I was actually tired. You know, I was actually, man, all I want to do now is take a shower and go to bed. You know, I don't want to do any extra stuff. I just get my stuff ready in the morning, you know. And it was good, even though I didn't get a lot of sleep, but, you know, it recovered, you know, because when you lift heavy weights, you get down to the cellular level of muscle regeneration and cell regeneration. All right. So you're really making some chemicals move in the body. All right. And you're really getting that dopamine rush and adrenaline rush when you do that, which will kind of acts as a therapy session by de-stressing. All right. So I would invite you to try that. You know, I really, it's therapy for me. I really enjoy it. You know, I get in there and I bang out those weights, and there's nobody, it's all me. There's nobody to blame if something goes wrong. There's no racism. There's no judgment. There is no mistakes. There's nothing. It's you. It's you and the weights. It's you up under that bar or on top of that bar. And if you can't lift it, you just can't lift it. I mean, it's that black and white. You get up under that bar, everybody's equal. Everybody's equal. You start lifting those weights, everybody is equal. Once you lay on that bench and you look up at that bar, there is no black, there is no white, there is no nothing. There's just none of that. It's you and the bar. You either lift it or you don't, right? That's all it is. But man, I could talk about lifting weights all day long, you know, because I enjoy it. And it's really a great stress reliever for me. And the last one I'm going to leave you guys with, go for a walk. If you feel like, you know, you're too stressed out and you want to transition yourself, take a walk first. All right. Not necessarily walking around the block, but if you can, by all means, go ahead. I don't mean to make it sound like you don't walk around the block, but go to somewhere like a nature preserve. right? Or somewhere like in a park where, you know, they have walking trails, or somewhere by the ocean or the beach or the river or lake or something like that. Preferably, if you could go to a beach, that is the ultimate healing, stress relieving type thing right there. I mean, that is, you can't get any better than that, right? So, yeah, you can't get any better than that. And I'm going to share a video with you where we were on the beach in, I think it was Daytona. We went to Daytona Beach, and I did a meditation video there. And it's just sand and the water from the ocean coming up on the water. I mean, it sounds awesome. So I'm going to share that video with you. And whenever you need 11 minutes, you know, it's designed for, it's a 10-minute break is what it's designed for, right? But I use it to do like my short meditations. If I'm going to go 10 minutes, 11-minute meditation, it's awesome. Because the birds are flying by, and I really, really got lucky. And I was able to set up my camera and record the birds and the water and the beach, and you'll love it. So, you could watch it and just kind of zone out to it, or you can, meditate. Put your headphones in and just do a short meditation and just kind of zone out. And I really like it. I really enjoyed it. I'm really thankful that I was able to record it, and I was able to get my camera. And you'll also see where I set my camera up a little too close to the water, and it was like, it wouldn't stay. So the water would come up, and it wouldn't hit the camera. It hit the bottom of the camera stand, and you would kind of see it start to sink down and whatchamacallit. So I had to pick it back up and fix it. But I did it very, very quietly, so it's not going to interrupt your meditation. All right. So go for a walk, right? Like literally go for like an hour walk. Just walk. Okay. Just walk. And don't worry about the time. Don't worry about being anywhere. Don't, maybe get your favorite meditation music, and just walk. If maybe, just skip the music. Just take in the nature, right? Take some deep breaths, take in the trees. If you're at the park, take in the grass, take in the laughter of the people playing, or the children playing and having a good time. Like, take all that in, right? Pay attention to that. Attention is one of the greatest things we have, man. And, we gotta use it. Focused attention and concentration is some of the most powerful stuff on the planet. So focus and bring your attention to, the trees and, just the earth itself. And if you're by the water, listen to the water, because it talks to you, man. I mean, it talks to you, and it's very therapeutic. The air, breathe the air, right? Listen to your feet hit the sand. Feel your feet hitting the sand. Feel every grain of sand that's on the bottom of your foot, and just walk. Watch the birds fly by, and just walk. So if you, and give it at least an hour, and if you feel like, you need to walk some more, walk another hour if you want to. Like I said, you can always wait. If you can always wait to transition yourself next week, right? If you don't, if you can't work on getting something going to help you stay on this side, right? You can always do that next week. You can always do that next month, right? You can always do it next year. It's not something that you have to that you have to do right now, right? You can work on yourself. It's okay for you to work on yourself. It's okay for you to not be complete right now. It's okay that you're not perfect per se right now in the collective consciousness, because perfection just means completion. You are completed. You've completed. Excuse me. You've completed your. If you're grown, if you a child, hasn't per se. Hold on. A child is still growing. They're still developing. So they're not perfect. You're not. Because they're still growing. They haven't completed the growth cycle. So physically, we've complete. I mean, we're complete. You are perfect. And in essence, you actually are perfect, because now you can move into excellence. All right. But that's what it means. When you hear scientists say, perfection, I mean, it doesn't mean that it's without flaw. That just means it's completed. Okay. That's what perfection is. So don't feel like, because things aren't perfect based on societal measures, that, there's something wrong with you. All right. You deserve a rest. You deserve a break. And it is okay for you to work on yourself. All right. So don't let stress take you out. Don't let stress be the reason for you to transition yourself. All right. Work out. Talk to someone. Okay. Talk to someone you trust. Talk to someone. Reach out to the suicide prevention hotline at 800-273-8255. Okay. You can reach out to me. I will talk to you at 469-474-74. I'm sorry. Golly. 469-626-7486. I'm getting tired, man. 469-626-7486. That's my contact number if you want to talk to me. I will be available until 2 a.m. From 12 to 2 every night, I will be available to talk to. So if you just need someone to listen, I'll listen. If you need someone to talk to, I'll talk to you. So, and I can talk to you as long as I can until I fall asleep. And if you call me during the day, 9 times out of 10, if I do not answer, I'm on the phone with the client. Okay. And I will leave me a message and I'll call you back, or just call me back, if you don't want to leave a message, or you can text me. Feel free to text me as well. My goal for this particular video series is live life. That's what I want. I want you to live life. You came here for a reason, so you may as well stay and learn the lessons that you are, that you came here to learn. All right. Because you came here for a purpose. You came here on purpose. All right. So, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for the comments, everybody. I really appreciate it. It's just the comments are like oxygen, and I need them. I like the feedback. I like when people chime in, and so if you're looking at this again, leave me a comment. Let me know where you're from, and feel free to inbox me. I usually reach out to. I usually acknowledge all of my comments. I usually acknowledge all my comments. So, what else? What else? My email address, marcusjjackson@hotmail.com, is in the comments as well. And I got the sleepy face going on. My email address is in the comments as well, so you can reach out to me there. I am greatly appreciative of everyone that liked this video or reacted to this video. I love you guys no matter what. I do love you. I am going to tell you what is necessary. All right. That's what love is. Love is being, is giving people what is necessary. Right. That's what love is. That's what being kind is. Right. You're being kind to someone by loving them and giving them what is necessary, or doing for them what is necessary. Okay. Anyway, that's it. I appreciate your time, right? And tune in tomorrow at 12 a.m. I will be on here again, doing my thing. I said every day, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do the weekends yet. Weekends I might take off, because I do feel that hour of sleep, or not getting that sleep. It's Thursday and I felt it. I started doing this Sunday, and today is the day, like I'm like, wow, I really feel the effects of that hour of sleep. But it's nothing, I'll deal with it. So I may take off on Saturdays and Sundays. However, I will probably, more than likely, I'll be doing a live pretty soon on Sundays. On Saturday, because I start on Sunday. So Saturday I might, I'll probably be off and doing some things. But if nevertheless, you can still call me. You can still call me, and I will talk to you, especially if you feel like, transitioning yourself is the answer. I don't want to. There is alternatives. There are things that we can talk about. There are things that, that can be done. There are other alternatives that can help you. I feel like they can help you. There are things that we can work on to, do what is necessary. We can put a plan together and figure out what it is. Try to get to the root of the problem. Like I said, by listening and talking to you, and see if we can do that. All right. Y'all take it easy and try not to do too much. I am out of here. Peace.